Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Those who are participating in the second Jummah, please come forward. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi wahdah. والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاصبر كما صبر أولو العزم من الرسل صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم وقال الله تعالى في شأن حبيبه الكريم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد معدن الجود والكرم منبع العلم والحلم والحكم وآله وصحبه وبارك وسلم صلاة وسلاما عليك يا سيدي يا خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have all been given the honor, the tawfiq, and the opportunity to gather here on this blessed day of Jummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our presence, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to give us this honor week after week. The verse of the Quran that I had the honor of reciting in front of you today, it is one in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us a very important character trait. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by giving the Muslims the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not only taught us what to believe, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by giving us the beloved and the blessed religion of Islam, He has taught us the way to live. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught us the way that we need to be. And in order to manifest these teachings of the Quran, in order to express what it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent His messengers. So you see, wherever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to do something, you will find that the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are much greater in that action. And above all of the messengers, you will find that the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam will be the greatest amongst them. For example, in this verse of the Quran, the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do is fasbir. So be patient. Now we find lessons of patience many times throughout the Quran. We find in some places that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stated, Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin, that indeed Allah is with the patient people. Where we find things that encourage patience, we also find in the Messenger of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam the best way to manifest this teaching or this command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Fasbir, be patient. But how exactly do we express this patience? How exactly do we go about being patient? What is the definition or what is the role model of someone who is patient? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states further, Fasbir, be patient, kama sabara ulul azmi minar rusul. exactly in the manner that the ulul azm from the messengers have expressed patience. The way that the ones of determination, the ulul azm, this refers to the greatest messengers amongst all of the messengers. Meaning we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has various messengers, various personalities Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent towards the creation to guide them, relate to them or deliver to them the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the prohibitions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then amongst all of them we have those messengers of Allah who are regarded as the ulul azm. And these are the greatest of all messengers. These individuals, they hold superiority over all of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amongst the ulul azm messengers we have Sayyiduna Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. We have Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. We have Sayyiduna Isa alayhi salam. We have Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam. These are those messengers who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made ulul azm, meaning He has given them a rank and a degree above all of the messengers. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that we must be patient, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to be patient, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gives us the best of role models in His messengers. He says, فَاصْبِرْ كَمَا صَبَرَ أُولُو الْعَزْمِ مِنَ الرُّسُلِ. So be patient as the ones of determination from the messengers have been patient. Allahu Akbar. If you think about what exactly patience is though, you will think that patience is something that you need to hold on to at a time of difficulty. Meaning when something problematic befalls you, when something which is a difficulty comes upon you, that is when you must express patience. For example, someone, let's say in our households, they pass away. Someone in our household passes away. This is a difficult time. This is a problematic time, and in this time it is up to us to express patience. So why then did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the perfect manifestation of patience amongst those who are most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You know, many people, they think today that why am I going through all of these difficulties? Why am I facing so many problems? Why is this happening with me? And we tend to mistakenly think that this is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love us. But this is a mistake. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who loves His messengers the most, who has given superiority to His messengers over all of creation. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to be patient as they have been patient, then this means that the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have also faced difficult times. They have also faced problematic times. And that is why we find that the greatest creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most perfect, the most beloved, the most noble creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sayyiduna Muhammad Al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What does he say? Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam states, وَلَقَدْ أُذِيتُ فِي اللَّهِ وَمَا يُؤْذَى أَحَدٌ. Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, he is saying in this blessed narration that I have been given such trouble in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have been given such difficulty in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that no one has faced this amount of difficulty, that no one has faced such problems. This is the greatest of creation saying this. So if we find that sometimes in our lives we find a bit of difficulties, and in those times we see that people turn away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They turn away from the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They turn away from the slavery of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they say, why me? But this is not the behavior of a Muslim. Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, he has taught us the way to be patient, and he has taught us the results of patience. I've mentioned the narration in which Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam reminded us that he has been troubled more than anyone else in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's go to someone who is a bit lower than him in status. The second most greatest creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, The second most greatest prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Sayyiduna Ibrahim Khalilullah alayhi salam. Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam, his life, if you take a look at his life, if you take a look at the things that he's been through, then you will see again that those people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts them through trial. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them hardship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them trouble. But when these people express utmost sabr and utmost patience upon that trouble given to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards them in a way that is uncomparable to the bounties that He has given others. Look in the life of Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. There have been 4 people, 2 Muslims and 2 Kafirs, 2 disbelievers who have ruled all of the world. Meaning their kingdom has went across all of the world. 2 of them were Muslims and 2 of them were Kafir. One of those disbelievers was by the name of Namrud. Now Namrud, someone who holds his territory as all of the world, the whole planet, all of earth, he is put into a battle against the beloved of Allah, the friend of Allah, Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam, this is who he has to face. Now when Namrud prepares a catapult, Namrud prepares a fire so scorching hot, it is so hot that nobody can even go near that fire. Namrud had prepared this fire for who? To put Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam into that fire, ma'adallah. Now once Namrud has prepared this fire, what he sees is that nobody can even go close to this fire. Nobody can come close to this fire. Now what do? So Namrud at this time, he prepares a catapult. Namrud prepares a catapult and he puts Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam into that catapult so that he can slingshot Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam into that fire. Now Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is put into that catapult. He is catapulted into the air. And now once Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam is in the air, Sayyiduna Jibreel Amin alayhi salam, he presents himself in the court of Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he asks Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam, is there anything that you need? Now when it comes to us, no matter who comes to us at our time of difficulty, we'll take their help. We don't care who it is, as long as someone is able to or willing to give us a helping hand, we take that helping hand of theirs. But look at the trust, look at the tawakkul that Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam has in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angel, not only an angel, the leader of all angels, Sayyiduna Jibreel alayhi salam, is presenting himself in the court of Sayyiduna Ibrahim. This is the same Jibreel alayhi salam who laid his wings down for Sayyiduna Yusuf alayhi salam when he was thrown into the well. Now he is presenting himself in the court of Sayyiduna Ibrahim while he is still in the air, and he says, is there anything that you need? Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam, he says, from you, no. He says, from you, there is nothing that I need. Now we can think, Allahu Akbar, this is such a great level of patience, such a superior level or degree of patience. But then Sayyiduna Jibreel alayhi salam, he says, okay, you don't have any need from me. Express your needs to the one that you have a need from. Meaning you have your needs, or you only associate your needs with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So say it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what you need. But the response of Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allahu Akbar, he says, ilmuhu bihali kafani an suwali. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing of my states, suffices me from even asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what I need. Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam at this time is not even depending on words. When Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam is depending on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is all he is depending on. Now, what was the results of these patience? What was the results of this sabr? Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam is being launched into that fire. Once Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam comes close to that fire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends out the command, قَالَ يَا نَارُ كُنِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, O fire, كُنِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا, become cold and peaceful upon Ibrahim. And once Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam reached that fire, it was the result of this patience and this reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He granted him such a bounty in this manner that that fire that Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam then went into, it felt as peaceful as a garden or much more. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim, become cold and become peaceful upon Ibrahim. I told you that if you rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you rely on those beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He grants you bounties that are uncomparable to others. Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, he stated, وَلَقَدْ أُذِيتُ فِي اللَّهِ وَمَا يُؤْذَى أَحَدٌ, I have been given such trouble in the way of Allah that nobody has ever been given. You want to know the level of patience of Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam? People put a false blame upon the blessed and the pure wife of Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. But what does Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam do at this time? He remains quiet. He remains quiet, he manifests patience and sabr at this time. And you know, in the time of Sayyiduna Isa alayhi salam, when people blamed the mother of Sayyiduna Isa alayhi salam, Sayyidatuna Maryam radiallahu ta'ala anha, when people blamed Sayyiduna Yusuf alayhi salam, in both situations we find that a baby spoke, a child spoke in their innocence. A child spoke in their innocence. But when it came time to declare the innocence of the wife of the most beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself revealed verses in the Quran declaring the innocence of the wife of Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the state. As much sabr as you have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you to that level, grants you to that extent. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us amongst the patients, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always allow us to express those traits that were given to us by the beautiful religion of Islam. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ. Those who have not performed their sunnahs, please perform your sunnahs.